Howdy, Possum Patty and little Miss Titi over here, getting her head scratched. And today we're going to do a little bit of a different video for hashtag Trash Trash Tuesday. And I know in a previous video I mentioned that I wanted to do my very first magazine harvest video because I had never done one before. So this is kind of like that, but maybe a little different. Maybe we should call it hashtag Flow Friday. FLOW, Flow Friday. You may be familiar with the Flow magazine, but Flow also puts out some books. And if you watched my book barn video, I brought home a few journals, and one of them was a book that takes its time, an unhurried adventure in creative mindfulness. Now, a Flow magazine or a Flow journal is one in which you have materials, whether they're paper, material, trims, it doesn't matter. There's things in there that you can take out and use in your journal. So it's like a journal you use for journaling. And this looked very interesting. And I think it's about time we dive into the Flow book and get some ideas about harvesting images to use in your junk journaling or your glue book or any kind of journaling. I even use these in nature journaling. So come on along and let's dive into this book. When I bought this book at the book barn, it's a used bookstore, I flipped through it quickly and I saw a lot of things in here that I thought I could use with my journaling. Things to cut out and ideas, and there's cards in here. There's actually a lot in here. That cat's in my lap right now. And I thought there was a lot in this book that I would be able to use. So I picked it up and brought it home, and I thought it was about time I take a deeper look into this book. Now, I was thinking that maybe I should pre-harvest, like I see people going through magazines and taking out what they want and then just getting rid of the rest. And I thought, well, that's a pretty good idea. I don't really always know ahead of time exactly what I'm going to want. But if I go through here and pull out everything I think I would ever use, it might be like almost the whole book. But I want to take out some interesting things and have them ready, have them like in a box or a baggie or something where I could just pull out images. Now, I've watched a few people do harvest videos and they do it different ways. They might take out like a whole page, or they might cut out a word or an image, or they might take out like this color, or this whole page could be like a background. So there are so many different things that you can think of when you're going through the book. And it's kind of like a creative exercise really for your mind, because as you're going through the book or the magazine, you're letting the colors and the patterns and the images sort of get your mind working on how these can be used. The first thing I'm going to do is just take a look at the cover, and it is a beautiful cover. I almost want to take all the pages out and maybe just use this. And I was looking for a cover to make a fabric flow book for my just for studio use, and this might be a good size. And I probably would not alter the cover at all. I would just take out the papers and put in some elastics to fold the material into. So that's my first idea. My second idea, just looking at the cover, I mean, I've got all these things and I haven't even gotten past the cover yet, was I was thinking about doing some like modern, primitive, modern folk art sort of style, which is this sort of very flat looking but colorful, simple shapes, just like the flowers and leaves that are on the cover here. Now I got a new set of gouache paints and I wanted to try them out. So the second thing I might do is copy some of these flowers and try out those new gouache paints. So I have two ideas already. I have an idea to use the cover as my fabric flow journal, and I have an idea on drawing these very simple, if you break it down, they're very simple shapes, and just build it up and then paint it flat. You know, it's not dimensional, it's just flat and colorful. So maybe I should write those down, shouldn't I? I'm turning the book over now, and the images on the back are really pretty too. Take time to breathe, take time to create, take time to reflect, take time to let go, take time. A mindfulness retreat is between two covers. All right, the book that takes its time. So we have postcards, mini journals, stickers, decorative papers for collaging, and many more surprises to encourage slowing down and appreciating the little things. Oh, I really do appreciate beautiful images and artwork that other people have done, beautiful paper, beautiful fabric. I really appreciate all those things. Now I have cat hair everywhere. Move slowly and with intention through the pages and discover what sweet place where life can be both, discover that sweet place where life can be both thoughtful and playful. Well, everything I love to do is done with fun. Oops, sorry about that. The cat is pushing on the book. All right, so I will probably rip all these pages out anyway. So I'm going to start with the very first page because you know I don't want to cut the cat. Come on, cat, move. I would be able to use this in a journal. And even if I don't use that, I will definitely use this pattern paper here. I really love it. A book that takes its time. Now, oh, look at the back. It's graph paper. All right, so I'm going to split this. And so now I have a page where I can use it as a background. I can use it as the first page in a journal, or I can cut out this. I can even put this through the die cutting machine with some different die cuts. And here we have graph paper, and I can use this as the background for some painty paper maybe. Sketch on here, journal on here. This could be a journaling card or put it on the back of a journaling card. The space to write. Okay, now I did bring over a folder. And I think just for now, and I'm in the process of cleaning out my closet. I'm always in the process of cleaning something. What I do, I brought over half of a file folder. Well, that's not going to work. I'm going to get a real file folder until I get organized. I'm just going to put some of this in here. This will be for the large pieces of paper. And then I have a couple old baggies over here. I might put some smaller things in until I figure out what I want to do with it. Oh, now look, see? Now this is the same as what is on the cover. Yes, it's not as pretty, it's not as bright, and it doesn't have the little shiny accents. But definitely I'll use this as a pattern to make some flowers. Now when I make these flowers, I might use them just as like embellishments, you know, in a journal. Or if I do a big page of them, I can cut it up, use it like a master board, and cut it up into journaling cards and tags and things. So I'm going to put that in my folder. Table of contents. What's on the back? Well, there's a really pretty picture on the back of that lady. Let's see. But these are also nice sayings, but I'm thinking these sayings are also going to be on the pages. So I could use those. Now, the trim here, those are nice colors too, and I ripped the page. I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. So I think I can get several things out of this page. Now, when you harvest, you can right away separate everything into, maybe one box with just colors and one box with images and one box with words. And I can leave that image right on there. So I'm putting the images again in here. And these are, well, these really aren't images, are they? But that's okay. The large sheets I'm putting in there that could be backgrounds. And I'm going to put these smaller pieces now. Let's see. So this one will be colors and patterns. Colors and patterns. Have you ever done a harvest? Do you cut things out ahead of time? I know a lot of people that do glue books. They might go through some magazines and cut out all the pictures that they like and have that ready for when they work in their glue book. I don't know if this matters how I do it. Like I said, I haven't done this before. The cat has moved, so I have an easier time cutting now. Okay, what I want from this is this up here. I think that would be, the time is now. I think that would be a good saying to go on a journal page. So let's see, let's grab another bag. Is this big enough? My bags are all different sizes. These are just left over from the kitchen. I wash them out and then so I can use them again. So these will be words. Doesn't really want to write on here. So I will just stick that in there. I probably don't need all that extra paper though, do I? I'm going to try not to keep everything because then I wind up with too much stuff. And when you have too much stuff, it's hard to focus on the good things. The things you can really use. Now this is an entire page with a pattern. And now you can get an idea from this too. This would be a very simple stamp to make. And a fun stamp for summer too. So you can make a solid, you can make one with the orange sections in it. You can make a separate stamp with the leaves if you want to do them a different color. And then on this side we've got somebody meditating. So I'm going to put this whole page into the whole page folder. Now this page, I know I'm going to go through it page by page, but don't worry, I'm not going to do it all today. And what I'll do is, maybe combine a little bit of harvesting with actually using the pages for something. So like I already talked about how I want to do some gouache painting, and I've talked about how I want to carve a stamp to look like that. Now this image could be a background on a page just by itself, and she's making a cup of tea, and that would be so wonderful for Tea Tuesday. And she's giving good advice. Life can get crazy between plans, dreams, hobbies, children, friends, and more. The things that give us the buzz in life can also drain us. You need more time to breathe. And we tend to do this. We tend to overschedule our life. Every little minute we have to be doing something. Although I think journaling is sort of that relaxing time, because the way I journal anyway, because I'm not making journals to sell. I'm not journaling for anybody but myself. So this, even though it is a hobby, it is the me time. It is the relaxing time. I don't stress. Everything's got to be fun. And, you know, so this is my relaxing time. This is the me time. This is my time to breathe. And I know I've started a lot of projects, but yeah, I only do one at a time. You know, focus on what you're doing, do one thing at a time. And I only work, well, usually, I usually only work in one journal at a time. Now this side has words, but you know, I have some old books. I really don't need all the words, although another thing I was thinking of doing was found poetry. And I'm thinking these pages might be good for some found poetry just because of the topic of the book. Because they're talking about, she talks about nature and food and, you know, slowing down, things like that. So I'll probably wind up keeping every page, right? Look, a beautiful moment. So that would be really fun to have that on a page in a journal. All right, is this small enough to fit? I can trim it a little bit. I'm trying to organize things and go through things and keep what I'm really going to use, what's really important to me, and have it handy and right where I can see it and use it. Okay, now we're getting into a few things here. Note cards for your beautiful moments jar. Celebrate those everyday things that make you happy for no reason at all. Write them down on these note cards, tear them out, and save them in a jar. Pull one out every now and again to revisit a cherish a moment. Oh, again to revisit and cherish that moment. Okay, I got it. So I can even use these little images here. I like the word beautiful. So I can cut those up now or later. Okay, my camera battery was already beeping. It beeps at about 18 minutes, and I can't believe I've already yacked on and on for 18 minutes. So I'm going to keep these words. So I'm keeping my words here. And I think I want these little images. So I think I'm going to start. I'm going to start another little bag for smaller things. They'll just fall right out of the file folder. Again, I'm going to come up with a system. So if you harvest magazines or books all at one time, how do you store them? Do you categorize them? Do you put words, colors, images, backgrounds? As much as we'd like to, we can't save everything. We can't save everything. I am sure I have a lifetime of supplies, paper and books and junk, because, you know, every day you get mail every day you make kitchen trash. And so even though I've watched a few videos, I am still interested in what you do, if you do this at all. So this is going to be for minis. So far I have minis, words, colors or patterns, and full pages. That's what I've got. Now, these can come out, they're perforated. So give me a minute and I will pull these out. So there's like 3 dozen of these cards, and let me just show you quickly. Some are patterns, and some are sort of, reminds me of like 1950s images, like that one. And they all have the same thing on the back. There were 2 the same. Like some of them are chopped up, like her face is in another card. Here's her cup of tea. Looks like a martini. Apron. I like that one. Beach. See, the other card just had this woman by the door. Oh, another one of those. And that's it. So I'm going to put this into mini. And it's probably, they're probably going to go somewhere else, but that's where they're going to be during the harvest. Well, there is a lot more to do. But I think I am going to stop right there. I kind of like this image of the house as she keeps going. And the back is celebrate the wait. Celebrate the wait. Everything these days is instant gratification. And we forget what a joy it is to anticipate things. 9 ways to promote anticipation. Reread a book of poetry. Clear out your closets, leaving them empty afterward. Well, that will never happen. Set a fixed evening to watch a TV show instead of binging on 3 episodes at a time. Pick fresh strawberries in the spring. Mail a letter to someone and wait for the answer. Take an old analog camera with you instead of a digital one. Oh, that's when you had to send the film in for and wait and wait and wait for the pictures. That was kind of fun. Today we see everything immediately. Send dinner invitations in the mail rather than online. Start a new blank diary. Make vacation plans. So these are all things that you can enjoy. Enjoy the anticipation. Enjoy looking forward to doing something. 9 ways to promote anticipation. Oh, I turned the page and I like this. The joy of one thing at a time. In today's busy world, it's often hard to find time to devote our attention to a single task. We want to do everything, and sometimes it's so paralyzing that we end up doing nothing. Oh, look, there's a little book. It's a little journal. It comes out. Oh, it's got these little sticky goos here. Think in the morning, act in the noon, eat in the evening, and sleep at night. Sleep in the night. The joy of one thing at a time. I like that. The joy of one thing at a time. Do not allow the future to trouble your mind. That's very Zen. Very Zen is to just focus on what you're doing and not everything else. All right, so we'll end with the joy of one thing at a time. Or else I'll just keep going and going. And that is our first look at the book that takes its time. And I took my time and I have a list of ideas. And what were my ideas? Maybe I should write those down. Okay, so we want to do gouache painting of the flowers and stamp the orange. Those were two of the ideas. Did I have three ideas? Well, I had all ideas about doing all this. But what else did I have an idea for? Oh, using some of these as, well, you know what? I can use some of them for found poetry. That's one thing I mentioned. Found poetry. Painty paper backgrounds. Painty paper backgrounds. Gel printing. Whoops. Gel printing on some of the paper. Oh, and I was going to turn the cover off. Fabric Flow Journal. Well, good thing I wrote it down because I'm already forgetting what I was talking about. I could always go back and watch my video. So I already have a list of things to do. Okay, so there it is. Simple, slow, slow and simple. Slow and simple was today's video, although I got lots of inspiration. And this was fun, a little bit different of a Trash Tuesday, but I'm saving all my things here to journal with. And if you want to follow the hashtag Trash Tuesday, there are several other channels that do trashy journals. They don't have to be on a Tuesday. We just like the alliteration, Trash Tuesday. They all begin with a T. And yeah, check them out. Sometimes I try to post them on my community page if I remember. And yeah, let me know in the comments below about your harvesting adventures. Thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.